Hey everybody, Shawn Holsinger here from HolsingerFlyShop.com. Bringing in another nymph pattern this week, and it's a pretty cool one. I really like it. It's a very imitative pattern. It's a variation on the DDT Nymph. This pattern is one I seen in one of Rich Strolis's books, and I really liked it, but I just twisted it to my liking. So here you're going to see a picture of the fly, then the material is to tie it. When I'm done with the video of tying it, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Okay, here you see a variation of the DDT nymph. Very cool looking little nymph. It's going to catch fish. Great mayfly nymph. So for a hook, we're going to start out with the Holsinger's Fly Shop nymph hook. And this one's a size 14. I'm using a 2.5 bead here. And for thread, we're going to tie this in an olive color. So I'm just going to go with some Semperfli wax thread here. And this one is 8/0 olive, pale olive. Just start that on behind the bead and get it tied down. Next thing we're going to do, put on a tail. For the tail, I'm just using some olive Antron yarn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Antron yarn off the spool, and I'm just going to take and split it in half. I only want to use about half of it for the tail. So pull off about half of it. That's a little bit more. There we go. I don't want it too thick. And then we're just going to tie that in for the tail. So tie that down on top, wrap it back to the bend. And I'm going to shorten it up a little bit. There you go. And I don't want these to be straight. I want them to be uneven back there, so I like that. So wrap that back to the bend, and we're good. Trim that off, and then we're going to put the body on this fly. For the body, I'm using some Midge tubing. This is light olive. And we're just going to tie that on top. And I want to start back about 1/3 of the way back. Or you can put it in under the bead. It won't be bad if you do it. But then we're going to pull that Midge tubing really tight and pull it back till it thins it out. Wrap it back to your tail. Now I'm going to come up with this about 2/3, a little bit more than halfway. Just make nice side-by-side wraps. Like I said, a little bit more than halfway up. And we're going to tie that off. Now we're going to put the legs on this fly. For the legs, I'm going back to Antron yarn. This time I'm going to use some brown Antron yarn. And dark brown, actually. And I'm going to use one strand of crystal flash. I'm going to lay that one strand of crystal flash beside, just to give a little bit of extra flash in here, beside the wing, and we're going to lay it back towards the butt section. Now you see here I'm going a little bit further than the body. That's because I'm going to fold it back over itself here in a second. So I'm going to stick it out over the butt section and go long on the other end. Wrap it up there behind the bead, and then we're going to fold this back over. This is going to create our thorax here. So it's going to create our legs and our wing case. You see there, now I got one going down both sides. There you go. Next thing we're going to add on is the thorax, and for that I'm just using some dubbing. For this one, using some golden olive SLF squirrel dub. Use whatever color you have here that's going to match up. You can even contrast it with 2 different colors. Play around here with that and see what you like, but this will work great for a blue-winged olive. So dub that on there kind of thin, don't want to get too thick here. And then we're just going to fill that in right there behind those wings. Come up here behind the bead and we're good. Now, we're going to take our legs and we're going to pull them both up to make our wing case. Get them right in there behind that bead over the top. And then we're going to pull one down each side. So I'm going to pull the legs and the crystal flash back each side here, and you might want to crisscross to get them to lay backwards if you have to. And then I like to, just to make sure they lay back, I take just a little pinch more of dubbing, make a little dubbing collar up here at the front. And it just keeps those legs going the way I want them. So nice tight noodle of dubbing here. And just make a nice little collar behind that bead. And whip finish it off. Real simple fly. Looks great, has a great profile to it. It'll work good for you. So get that whip finish, and then we're going to trim our legs down, and we'll be done. So when I trim the legs, I like to kind of cut them at an angle. Cut it with the angle of the body of the fly. So as you see there, a little bit shorter at the front, longer at the back, and that's a little bit longer than I want. So I'm going to shorten him up a hair, and then I'll get the other side. And again, you don't have to be perfect on this, you know. There you go, gets nice and buggy and leggy, and you get that two-tone contrast with it all there. It looks great. So give that one a try. It's going to catch your fish. Okay guys, hope you like that pattern. Nice simple pattern to tie. Just a little bit of practice on them wings, on the legs I mean, and you get it. It's not that hard. Really cool pattern that Rich Strolis shared in his book. And like I said, I did a twist on it. He used Superfine for the whole thing, for the abdomen and the thorax on it. It looks great. I just wanted to try it with some different things. I really like the look of the stretch tubing in it. It just makes it a nice thin profile, and just makes it nice and smooth. I like it that way a little bit better. So try things like that. You know, if you see a pattern you like, experiment with it, see the way you might like to tie it differently. Experiment and have fun. You'll get more confidence in your fly tying when you start catching fish on it, when you realize how to do things better to fish it the way you like to fish it. So have fun. If you need me to tie any of these or any other flies in my videos, you can reach out to me at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com, or you can find any of the materials you need to tie this fly at holsingersflyshop.com. So thanks for watching guys. Till next week, I'm going to bring you another video. I'm Shawn Holsinger.